Hey everyone, recently one of our subscribers, Vineet Pratap Singh, cracked Java developer interview at Deloitte. He has shared everything with me. So basically, he had applied through LinkedIn and he's having total 4 year of experience. I'll share his LinkedIn profile as well in the description. Basically, he was having total 3 technical rounds and I'll be sharing each one by one. Also, I'll give short answers of each question just to give you context. And guys, if you want to share your interview experience, then fill the form below in the description and please make sure to subscribe to see such real interview experiences. So now let's get started. Guys, after applying, he got a call from Deloitte. The HR informed him about the role and asked him to confirm a date for the round 1 interview. So basically, in the first round, interviewer started with introduction and current projects. This round basically was supposed to finish in 60 minutes but extended to 90 minutes. Then guys, after the introduction and all, interviewer asked difference between abstraction and interface and when to use them. So guys, this is very important question. So basically, abstraction is achieved using abstract classes where we can have both abstract and non-abstract methods, whereas an interface contains only method declaration and constants and no implementation. We should use an abstract class when classes share common code or behavior, and we should use an interface when different classes need to follow the same contract but may have different implementations. Okay. Then guys, interviewer asks, could you tell me the difference between Java 7 and Java 8 interfaces and a follow-up on why default and static methods were introduced. So guys, nowadays most of the interviewers ask this question. So listen very carefully. So in Java 7, interfaces could only have abstract methods. So they only define what to do, not how to do. Whereas in Java 8, interfaces can have default and static methods with implementation, right? Default methods were introduced to add new features to interfaces without breaking existing classes, and static methods were added so utility methods related to the interface can be written inside it. Then guys, he asked about the contract of equals and hash code method. This is also very important question. So the contract of equals and hash code method says that if two objects are equal using equal methods, then their hash code must also be the same. If equal methods return true, hash code method must return the same value for both the objects. But if hash code method is the same, it does not guarantee equals will be true. That's a contract. Okay. Then interviewer asks what is an exception and why are checked exceptions called compile time exceptions. Do they actually occur at compile time? So guys, basically an exception is an unexpected problem that occurs during program execution and interrupt the normal flow, like file not found or divide by 0. Okay. And checked exceptions are called compile time exceptions because the compiler forces us to handle them using try, catch or throw. They are checked at compile time for handling, not for occurrence. They actually occur at runtime, not during compilation. Okay. And then guys, he asks about the difference between throw and throws keyword. So throw is used to actually create and throw an exception inside a method. Okay. Whereas throws is used in method declaration to tell that this method may give an exception. Then guys, moving ahead, the interviewer asks why string is immutable. How does immutable improve security? So this is simple question and also very common question. So string is immutable because its value cannot be changed once created. Okay. Any modification creates a new object. This helps in security because sensitive data like passwords or URLs cannot be changed after creation. It also prevents misuse by hackers or other code changing the original value. And guys, before moving to the next question, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, Vineet prepared from our interview preparation kit. So let me tell you, this interview preparation kit has 4 main parts. First is complete interview preparation material. It is a step-by-step material made by me, expert and MNC's interviewers. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it. Second is 2 real enterprise client projects. Code and video recorded sessions are there and you can add this in your resume. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you to get referred to the top MNCs. So basically guys, the material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, microservices, Kafka, Maven, Git coding questions, Stream API coding questions and many more. You can buy just the complete interview preparation material or the full kit with project supports and referrals. I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to our interview experience. Guys, then interviewer asks the difference between comparable and comparator. So this is also important question. Comparable is used to sort object based on the single default logic defined inside the class and using compare to method, right? Whereas comparator is used when we want multiple sorting logics and it is defined outside the class using compare method. Okay. Then interviewer asks to implement a function to sort a list of employees based on department and salary. Later asks to filter employees with salary greater than 50,000, right? Guys, I cannot explain the code here, otherwise video will be longer. I'll add the solution of this problem in the description. Okay. Guys, an interviewer asks about Spring Boot application annotation and what if we don't want to use this annotation? What alternatives are available? So basically, Spring Boot application annotation is a main annotation that combines configuration annotation, enable auto configuration annotation, and component scan annotation to start a Spring Boot application easily. Okay, it automatically configures the projects and scans required components. Okay, if we don't use it, we must use these three annotations separately in the main class. Then guys, interviewer asks what are microservices and how do they communicate with each other? This is also important question. So microservices is an architecture where a big application is divided into the small independent services. They communicate with each other using HTTP, REST APIs, messaging systems like Kafka or service to service calls. Okay. Then guys, he asks a linked list problem to detect the cycle using the fast and slow pointer approach. This is a tricky problem, so I'll add the solution of this as well in the description below. Okay. So guys, this was all about first round. Then in the second round, interviewer started with the introduction and discussion again and about current project. This round supposed to last 1 hour but extended to 1 hour 45 minutes, told by Vineet. Okay. So guys, in this round, interviewer first asks what is a process. So a process is a running program in memory. It has its own memory space and resources. Each process works independently from other processes. For example, if we open a Chrome, our operating system will create a process and that may have multiple threads. Then guys, interviewer asks the difference between multitasking and multithreading. So multitasking means running multiple processes at the same time, whereas multithreading means running multiple threads inside the same process. Then he asks about future in Java. So this is very important question. Future is an interface of a task that runs in another thread. It helps check if the task is done and get the result later. It is basically mainly used with the executor service. Okay. Then he asks the difference between callable and runnable. This is also a part of concurrency topic. So runnable does not return a result and cannot throw checked exceptions, whereas callable returns a result and can throw checked exceptions. Callable is used when we need a return value from a thread. Then he asks how concurrency is achieved in Java. So concurrency is achieved using multiple threads. Java provides thread class, runnable, executor framework, and synchronization keyword. These allow multiple tasks to run at the same time very safely. Then guys, he asked about virtual threads and volatile keyword. Virtual threads is from Java 21. So virtual threads are lightweight threads introduced in newer Java version to handle many tasks efficiently, where volatile keyword is used to make a variable visible to all the threads immediately. It ensures changes made by one threads are seen by others. Then he asks producer consumer problem. So basically it is a situation where one thread, that is producer, creates data and another thread, that is consumer, uses that data. Both shares a common queue or buffer. We use synchronization, wait notify or blocking queues to avoid data loss and conflicts. Guys, an interviewer asks about the behavior of thread pool executor when the queue is full. So if the queue is full and all threads are busy, it tries to create a new threads up to the maximum limit. If the maximum limit is reached, it basically rejects the task. Rejection depends on rejected execution handler policy. As an interviewer asks why choose Spring Boot over the Spring Framework. So Spring Boot reduces configurations and setup time. It provides auto configuration and embedded servers. It helps build and run application quickly with minimal setup. Then he asks how to define a bean. So a bean can be defined using a component on a class annotation, right? Or by using bean annotation inside a configuration class, right? Basically, Spring creates and manages the object in the container. Then he asks about stereotype annotations and a follow-up on why REST controller annotation is not directly inherited from components. So stereotype annotations are special annotations like component, service, repository, and controller. Okay, whereas REST controller is a combination of controller and response body. It indirectly uses component annotation through the controller, so it is still detected by component scanning. Then he asks about dependency injection, cohesion, and coupling. So dependency injection means giving required objects to a class instead of creating them inside it. Okay. Cohesion means how closely related the responsibilities inside a classes are. Higher is better. Coupling means dependency between classes. Lower is better. Then guys, he asks about a bean ambiguity. So bean ambiguity happens when multiple beans of the same type exist in the Spring container. Spring gets confused about which beans to inject. This causes an error at runtime unless we specify the correct bean. Then guys, he asks about primary annotation and qualifier annotation. So primary annotation is used to make one bean the default choice when multiple bean exist, whereas qualifier annotation is used to specify exactly which bean should be injected. Then he asks about the behavior of a prototype bean inside a singleton bean and how to override them. So basically, when a prototype bean is injected into a singleton, it is created only once and reused. It does not create a new object every time. To get a new instance each time, we should use object factory, provider, or method injection. Then he asked n plus 1 problem. So n plus 1 problem happens when one query loads main data and then many extra queries run to fetch related data. It increases database calls and slows performance. It could be solved using join or fetch strategies. After mentioning join and fetch strategies, he asked to write a query in the repository. Then he asked when to use SQL versus no SQL. So we should use SQL when data is structured and relationships are important, whereas we should use no SQL when data is flexible, large, or unstructured. Then he asks in the Kafka like partition, offsets, and how long message can stay in Kafka. So partition divides a topic to allow parallel processing. Offset is a unique position of a message inside a partition. Kafka keeps messages based on the retention time or size settings. Messages can stay for hours, days, or weeks depending on the configuration. So guys, this was the second round. Then in the third round, interviewer asked designing and principles. This round was scheduled for 30 minutes but again extended around 80 minutes. So basically in the third round, interviewer first asked solid principles. So solid principle is a set of 5 design principles to write clean and maintainable code, and you have to explain each principle thoroughly to your interviewer. Then interviewer asks dry principle. So basically dry means don't repeat yourself. It says avoid writing the same code again and again. Then he asks about microservices design patterns like circuit breaker, retry, and fallback. So circuit breaker stops calling a failing service to prevent system crash. Retry tries the request again if it fails temporarily, and fallback gives an alternative response when the main service is down. Then he had shared a code snippet and identified which principles were violated. Then interviewer discussed on cloud technologies like EC2, SNS, and SQS. So EC2 is a virtual server to run applications in the cloud. SNS is notification service to send messages to many subscribers, and SQS is a message queue to send, store, and receive message between services. So guys, this is all about Deloitte interview experience of Vineet. And guys, if you find this video helpful, then please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye.